Can you talk about an agent is maybe in that situation and they're like, Jay,
Yeah.
I want to get into leads. Can you talk a little bit about like the difference between the two? Any recommendations just as they're getting their foot in the door for the first time leveraging leads?
Yeah, that's a good point. So one of the ways that we decide, what method an agent should use to create income, right? Because you can go leads, you can go like advanced marketing, you can go retirement planning and stuff like that, or you can stay in your warm market. But one of the ways we help people figure that out is we spend some time training them and doing their onboarding process. And honestly, Trey, like after you spend a few hours with somebody, you can tell what kind of person this is. So we look for two things. We look for influence, right? The way that they speak, the way that they carry themselves, maybe their current income, or just how their family and friends talk to them or show up to support them. So we look at influence, and then we also look at work ethic, right? If somebody's doesn't have much influence, but they have work ethic, and I can give them a name, a list of numbers to call, and a target when it comes to like how much activity you're going to need to be successful. I know that they can win, right? Because if somebody's willing to show up day after day and they're not going to quit on themselves and they believe in themselves and they have work ethic, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of dials. It's just a matter of contacts, until they're going to win. So I would say like if somebody's ready to work hard, they can win, right? If somebody's ready to work hard, they can succeed in leads. Because at the end of the day, it all is broken down into numbers, right? I can tell you how many dials it's going to take to have this many presentations. This many presentations going to lead to this amount of sales. This amount of sales is going to lead to this kind of income that you're looking for. So yeah, that's what I look for.
I love that you just broke that down. For people that don't know what he's referring to, we call KPIs. That's called key performance indicators. Jordan, can you talk about why numbers are so important when it comes to leads?
Yeah, that's funny. So I've been leading a sales team for years, right? But just recently leading a leads sales team, right? That are calling paid leads. And when I first got started, I was like, I was kind of random about it. I would dial for like 30 minutes today and then 3 hours the next day. And I was just kind of like a roller coaster, right? Riding the entrepreneurial roller coaster.
Mhm.
And then I started having conversations with people that have been in this strategy of client acquisition for a while. And I was like, man, like, what am I missing here? How come my numbers are up and down? They're like, okay, well, let's first look at this. How many dials did you make last month? I was like, I made a lot. I made a lot of dials. And I'm like, a lot. What does that even mean?
What does
And
that
I was like, I
mean?
mean, it was probably like at least 400 or like 400 dials, man. Like 400 dials, that's going to find you one, maybe two, maybe three deals. Right. And I was like, oh, now that you say that, yeah, I had about three deals last month. And he was like, what if you turn that 400 dials into 800 dials? And I was like, well, if I doubled my dials, I'd probably double my applications, right? My business that I submitted, right? So I'm a numbers guy, always been that way. I'm one of those crazy guys that math was actually my favorite subject in school growing up. So I'm one of those guys. It's like you start to make the math make sense to me, then I know what to do. Then I know what to go out there and do and execute. So for a lot of people, they're not those number types of people, but they are just those action oriented people. And if you tell them, hey, you go do this, they'll go make it happen. I can't just say, hey, go out there and make a sale today, right? Because they don't really have an actual target that they can control. Okay. You can't control how many policies you submit. You can't control how many annual premium you submit. You can't even control how many people pick up the phone. But what you can control is the amount of times you pick up the phone and extend that opportunity for somebody to pick up the phone on the other side of the line and help them out.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I'm huge on numbers. Ironically, up until about 4 months ago, I was not huge on numbers on my like business side, but I was as an agent. And one of the things that I always tell people is like the moment you start tracking numbers, two things happen. Number one, it's super, super clear where the problem is.
Yep.
Very clear. And number two, it typically feels bad, but that's okay because on the other side, the second thing is when you do start tracking numbers, you always know where the problem is, but then you also have a level of peace that you can
Mm-hmm.
only get because you're like, you can trust the numbers because
Yep.
they always work out. And it's crazy how it works. But I appreciate you for just breaking that down. I heard you say it a few times. I was like, all right, yeah, he's one of them. He understands it for sure.